Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Blues, Cues and Reviews. Today we're looking at Bleach, the latest chapter of Bleach 658 as released today, a day earlier than I expected. And as usual, we always like a bit of Bleach early, right? So for those who missed it, because there's been a few days with the bank holidays, with Christmas, just to give you a bit of a recap, the last thing we saw was a battle between Askin, Naklava, one of the four elites against Yoruichi, and Hyuga Buddha ends up coming there and doing his version of one of her attacks. It turns out he absorbs all the Reishi or Ryatsu, and he's now become immune to it. So this pretty much the continuation happens pretty much from that. So he's effectively saying, look, because of this attack, their attacks moving forward can't do any different. And basically Yoruichi realizes that, look, all the attacks have healed, and because he's used that factor as part of his ability of lethal dosing, it's not normally a problem because you don't have the luxury of being shocked anymore. So he goes, don't worry about it, hurry up, you'll basically be killed pretty soon enough without even laying a scratch on me. At that point, Yoruichi's younger brother attacks again, to no avail. It ends up being that he starts coughing up blood. See, I keep saying she because I keep picturing the character as the sister. But yeah, so he starts coughing up blood, and Yoruichi realizes that she's in some trouble. So that's pretty much what happens for the first half of the chapter. The second half of the chapter kind of moves back to Gerrard Valkyrie, and he's a massive giant. He's there basically tearing up the place, and he's like saying, "Oh, you lot are not even worthy of fighting me, a god," and he's really bigging up the fact that he's got this power. So ultimately, he starts wrecking the place. He's just literally destroying the place, and he goes, "I can find you with I can find you using your Ryatsu. Don't worry, I'll have to dig out your bodies." And at the same time, what's basically happening is members of the Vizard, the vice captains and things like that, are hiding around the place. And then he knocks down a wall, and they start attacking him. So in a nutshell, one goes in for the attack, and the rest try cornering, try blasting his head off, and he's basically relatively unharmed. He comes back and he swats them away. So the thing is, it's a relatively simple chapter because I'm considering the majority of the content pretty quickly. So he can, it's one of those where it's relatively simple. There's two parts to it really. The first half is to do with Askin. The second part is pretty much all of this. The ending, though, is the return of Hitsugaya Chencho. The captain himself, Mr. Sub-Zero, Mr. Grateful Buster, Mr. Captain who can freeze people with his dragon ice sculpture looking thing, is back. Strangely, he's wearing a uniform that remarkably looks like Quincy's, Van den Reich, Sternritter's, costume. So I don't know what he's actually done. First we get the other character coming back, the vice captain, or is it the third seat? Kiba coming. I think Kiba was his name. Yeah, Kiba comes back, and he's like a zombie. He's got parts of his body missing, and he's fighting a weakened X-axis now, right? Because he's lost his special ability. Now you've got a returning commando who I'm sure one was dead, beaten into a zombie, and somehow he's been resurrected. Is this the doing of our favourite scientist of the Gotier 13, and he's somehow found a way to resurrect him? I don't know, but it's interesting. We will really have to wait to see what the hell is going on. The one thing he does do is comes out with a wicked entrance, and he goes, "Just rest in peace and freeze," and he does his attack. And he talks about duty. So it's a relatively short chapter. It's very simple, very simplistic in its way. There's pretty much a bit of battling from both sides. We obviously realize how much of a threat Askin actually is, and the fact that Ichigo, Grimjow lost to him, as well as now Yoruichi struggling. shows and proves that these elite guards are not to be trifled with. It is really coming down to how the hell do you fight against one's ability. Like I was saying in a lot of my earlier videos, the problem we have with this battle is because the good guys in this case, which is, the dynamic of good and bad isn't really that straightforward, but the Shinigami, so to speak, of basically no idea what techniques and what the strengths and weaknesses of the opponents are, which is what makes them so dangerous. And then at the same time, you've got these OP abilities that don't half make it difficult to go against them. So you got one guy who can pretty much absorb anything and use that as a lethal dose against you, Mr. Askin Naklavar, and the other guy can absorb, like, as the more damage he takes, the more powerful he becomes. So the Miracle Man, Gerrard Valkyrie. So the last two are turning out to be really, really powerful, and you can see the dynamic that both of these are gonna pretty much have to go before we can move the plot forward, I guess. It also asks the question, what's actually going on with the third remaining, though weakened and defeated, Quincy, Mr. X-Axis, Mr. Jelail. It's interesting to see what happens with that, but honestly, I was so mad excited about that end panel that I didn't quite know what to say and do about it. I was at work, so it was good that we got it quite early, so that took up and made my day, and basically made up for such a busy day at work. The question that needs to be asked now as well is, what is with the suit? Did he beat a Quincy and take it? Is he really a Quincy the whole time? What is going on? We'd really like to know. So please just get involved in the conversation. Like, comment, subscribe, share your comments and thoughts either on the video or on my Twitter account, which is also linked to this account, and let's find out what's actually going on, give your thoughts, and hopefully we can come up with a theory. But that's all for me today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe as always, and share. Peace.